So we come here today, yes, to say goodbye to Richard. But if we believe anything as Christians, it is that this is not the end for Richard. It's simply the end of the beginning. Because in faith we believe that he has been called home by God, who made him, who loves him, to a place of peace and joy. Time to enjoy his just reward for a life well lived.
Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter.
I'm David O'Donnell. I'm Richard's dad here. Just wanted to say thank you all for coming. It was a lovely service. We had the crematory. And we're here to remember Richard, my darling uncle. And yeah, thanks everyone for coming.
So much joy you can give to each brand new bright tomorrow. Make me happy.
Richard was a cousin and a friend. When somebody phoned up to say that Richard wasn't well on the Friday mark, I think, so I, seeing a good Christian, I prayed for him. And then somebody phoned up on the Saturday morning to say that he had died. And that was a real, I don't know, shock, sadness, with tears to your eyes. So he had that effect on me without really being with faith, if you like, not seeing him every week. He was by a probation officer. But we did meet in prison. Okay, thanks for
Through the years, never bring me any tears. Let your arms be as warm as the sun from. Me love, bring me sunshine in your smile.
I tutored Beatrice and Richard's two children, and I was immediately impressed with how patient and gentle and kind he was. Every Saturday he would bring, first of all it was Jessica, and he would sit in the car and he would wait for her. And at the end he would come and say, thank you, Messiah. Likewise when it was Jerome's time. And that genteel nature, mind you, I wasn't surprised because Beatrice, basically, you know. But I was so impressed with how he took care of his two children.
Richard was always kind, he was compassionate, and he was great fun to be around. He was highly successful in work and at sports. He was also a deep thinker and a man of profound faith, which guided him everything he did.
In this world where we live, there should be more happiness. So much joy you can give to each brand new bright tomorrow. Make me happy through the years.
And along with Nicola and Trevor alongside me, we were some of the many friends and colleagues who worked with Richard at the Wellcome Foundation, which had its medium-sized pharmaceutical company, and it had its research and development centre in Beckenham. You don't hear the name Wellcome very much these days because in the mid-90s, many of you may know they were absorbed to become part of GlaxoSmithKline or GSK. And when I worked with Richard, it was in the mid-1980s, sort of through to the mid-1990s. And I'll just tell you a little bit about his official job title. So at that point, he was a principal executive in the clinical group of the Department of International Drug Regulatory Affairs. Now, like many large companies, they love to use very long-sounding titles that completely bamboozle you and tell you absolutely nothing at all. So I'll try and unpack it and explain what he did day to day. So I'll just take you back to when a new medicine is discovered. And what happens in a company like Wellcome was people from experts from lots of departments come together to form a project team. And they try to figure out how best to develop that medicine and show that it's safe and effective. As a helping hand, health authorities all around the world, so government health authorities, produce regulations and guidelines explaining how they think you should develop different types of medicines. So it was Richard's role to understand all of these regulations and try and help the teams he worked with interpret them and apply them and follow them in developing the medicines. Now, the greatest challenges would come when countries had different ideas about how to develop the same medicine. And that happened quite often, as you might imagine, particularly back in the 80s and 90s. So Richard really became the key contact then between the company and the various health authorities that he would be working with to try and find a resolution to the problem. Now, the only thing I found working with experts is they all think they are right. So when you have more than one expert in the room and they all think they are right, it can all go downhill quite quickly. And it's at that point you need somebody really smart with a cool head and a diplomatic approach to help negotiate a compromise. Now, I hope you can see where this might be going, because Richard, of course, had the perfect skill set to bring two groups of people together and reach agreement. And because it was so novel, he ended up going on health authority meetings with lots of European countries. In fact, it turned into a sort of European roadshow as he blitzed around the continent. And I can remember him calling me nearly every morning from a different European capital to tell me how hard he was working. One morning he called me and I said to him, "Richard, where are you?" To which he replied, "I'm in Athens, in Greece, and I'm sitting on my balcony drinking coffee, eating a croissant, looking out over the Acropolis." And I could hear myself saying, "And you call this work?" So he had some good times too. And I should say, of course, that he was an especially good sportsman, a squash player. So very often he would disappear at lunchtime or straight after work and would be playing a match. He even took me along one day to the church he was attending at that time. And I still have the memory that it was the most joyous service I'd ever experienced. And that was thanks to him taking me along. Because as for work, things changed and the Wellcome site at Beckenham eventually closed. Richard found retirement coming on. And far more importantly, Beatrice, Jessica and Jerome became his world and his greatest joy from then on.